There is a silent thief among us, one that steals more joy and peace than any material loss ever could. It creeps into our minds when we scroll through social media, when we attend reunions, even when we lie awake at night. This thief is the habit of constant comparison, that relentless mental measuring of our lives against others' highlight reels. The ancient Stoics understood this human tendency long before the age of Instagram and LinkedIn. 2,000 years ago, Epictetus observed how we enslave ourselves by valuing what others have over what we possess within. Marcus Aurelius, ruling the vast Roman Empire, would remind himself in his private writings that looking outward for validation was a path to perpetual discontent. What makes comparison so poisonous isn't just that it makes us feel inadequate, it distorts our very perception of reality. When we compare, we take our complex, messy, beautiful lives and hold them up against carefully curated illusions. We judge our behind the scenes against others' highlight reels. And in doing so, we commit two grave errors. We undervalue what we have, and we overvalue what others appear to possess. But there is a way out of this mental prison. Stoicism offers us not just temporary relief, but a complete reframing of how we view ourselves in relation to others. These aren't quick fixes or empty affirmations, but time-tested principles that can fundamentally rewire our thinking patterns. In this video, we'll explore how 3 core Stoic rules can liberate us from the comparison trap that ensnares so many modern lives. This journey begins with a simple but radical realization: the only life you need to measure is your own. The path won't always be easy. True change never is, but each step will bring you closer to what the Stoics called orthopraxia, that unshakable inner peace that no external comparison can disturb. The first rule: what's truly yours to command? Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching the waves roll in endlessly. Some waves lap gently at your feet, while others crash violently against the shore. You quickly realize you have absolutely no power to stop their relentless motion, no ability to calm the churning sea before you. But in this moment of clarity, you discover something profound. You have complete sovereignty over one crucial decision: whether to step into those turbulent waters or remain firmly planted on solid ground. This powerful metaphor captures the essence of the Stoic dichotomy of control, and understanding it deeply may be the most important key to freeing yourself from the mental prison of constant comparison. Epictetus, who began his life in chains as a slave before rising to become one of history's most revered philosophers, opened his seminal work, the Enchiridion, with this fundamental truth: some things are within our power, while others are not. With these simple words, he drew a line in the sand between the territory we truly govern and the vast lands beyond our command. Our judgments, our values, our voluntary actions, these lie squarely within our domain. But other people's achievements, their opinions of us, the circumstances of our birth, the unpredictable turns of fortune, these are like the ocean's waves, powerful forces that operate by their own rhythms, indifferent to our desires. When we fail to make this crucial distinction, we inevitably fall into the comparison trap. We take aspects of our lives that are genuinely within our control, our efforts, our attitudes, our daily choices, and foolishly measure them against external factors we can never hope to govern. That co-worker who received the promotion you wanted. Their career trajectory isn't yours to control. The picture, perfect family photos your childhood friend posts every weekend. Their domestic life isn't yours to control. The luxury car your neighbor parks in their driveway. Their financial situation isn't yours to control. Yet how often do we chain our self-worth to these external markers, as if they were legitimate measures of our value or progress? Marcus Aurelius, despite wielding the immense power of the Roman emperor, constantly reminded himself in his private meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, even with all the authority of the ancient world's greatest empire at his fingertips." He recognized that true freedom and contentment came not from controlling externals, but from mastering his own perceptions and reactions. In one particularly poignant passage, he writes, "Today I escaped from anxiety, or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside." This insight cuts to the heart of why comparison causes us such suffering. We mistakenly locate the source of our discontent outside ourselves, when in reality it arises from our own judgments and valuations. To apply this wisdom in our daily lives, we must first develop what we might call comparison awareness. This begins by noticing the physical and emotional signatures of comparison at work. That sudden tightness in your chest when a friend shares good news, that sinking feeling in your stomach when you scroll through social media, that restless agitation that follows learning of someone else's achievement. These visceral reactions serve as our warning signals, our cues to pause and engage our rational faculties before the spiral of comparison gains momentum. When you detect these signals, employ the central Stoic question: is this within my control? Apply it ruthlessly to whatever triggered your comparative impulse. The vacation photos that sparked envy, not yours to control. The professional recognition a colleague received, not yours to control. The natural talents someone else possesses, not yours to control. For all these external factors, practice the Stoic art of mental release. Visualize setting these concerns down like heavy baggage you were never meant to carry in the first place. Imagine the lightness that comes when you stop trying to shoulder what was never your burden. Then, with the same disciplined focus, turn your attention to what is genuinely within your sphere of influence. Your efforts, your attitudes, your values, your daily choices. This is where your power truly resides, and this is where your energy should be directed. The Stoics called this mindful redirection the art of acquiescence, fully accepting what we cannot change while taking complete responsibility for what we can. When you cultivate this mental habit, you'll find comparison gradually transforming from a source of suffering into what it objectively is: a neutral observation of how different lives unfold in different ways. This practice isn't about suppressing natural human tendencies or pretending we don't notice others' successes. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher and statesman, acknowledged our social nature when he wrote, "We are all creatures of our environment, and none of us lives untouched by the achievements of others." The wisdom lies not in denying our awareness of others, but in changing how we process that awareness. He continues, "The wise man neither envies nor resents what others have, but uses their examples as mirrors to better see his own path." Consider for a moment how revolutionary this approach is in our hyper-connected, comparison-saturated world. While social media algorithms and advertising engines work tirelessly to amplify our comparative impulses, Stoicism offers us an ancient yet perfectly suited antidote. It doesn't require withdrawing from the world or pretending we don't have ambitions. Rather, it invites us to pursue our goals with clear-eyed understanding of what's truly ours to shape and what we must learn to regard with equanimity. The transformation occurs when we stop asking, "Why don't I have what they have?" and start asking, "What can I create with what is mine to shape?" This shift in questioning changes everything. It moves us from passive envy to active agency, from fruitless longing to meaningful action. Epictetus drives this point home when he says, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." This philosophical stance isn't about resignation or lack of ambition. The Stoics were deeply engaged with the world, Seneca as a political advisor, Marcus Aurelius as emperor, Epictetus as a teacher. Their wisdom lies in recognizing that while we can and should pursue worthy goals, our fundamental well-being must never be held hostage to outcomes we can't fully control. They teach us to strive while simultaneously cultivating inner peace with whatever results our efforts produce. As you begin applying this first Stoic rule, remember that breaking the comparison habit is a gradual process. Each time you notice yourself measuring your life against others, see it as an opportunity to practice the dichotomy of control. With consistent effort, you'll find yourself increasingly anchored in what's truly yours to command and increasingly undisturbed by what isn't. This is the beginning of true inner freedom, the kind no external circumstance can give or take away. The second rule, love of fate. Life has a way of unfolding differently than we imagine. We chart careful plans, only to encounter unexpected detours. We compare our journey to others, measuring our progress against their milestones. And in doing so, we often miss the profound truth hidden within our own unique path. The Stoics called this wisdom amor fati, the love of one's fate. Not passive resignation, but an active embrace of the life that is truly yours to live. Consider Seneca's exile to the rugged island of Corsica. In the 1st century AD, during the reign of Emperor Claudius, the philosopher found himself banished to this remote outpost, stripped of his wealth and status in Rome. At first glance, this could have been the crushing end to his political career and intellectual influence. Instead, it became one of the most productive periods of his life. From that windswept island, he penned some of his most profound letters and essays that would endure for millennia. Later, reflecting on this apparent setback, he observed with typical Stoic insight, a change of surroundings can often bring great relief. Where others saw only punishment and disgrace, Seneca discovered unexpected opportunity and creative freedom. This transformation of perspective lies at the heart of amor fati, not merely enduring life's twists and turns, but actively finding the potential within them. The practice of negative visualization serves as our daily training in this art. By periodically imagining the loss of what we cherish most, our health, our closest relationships, our basic comforts, we accomplish two vital psychological shifts. First, we emotionally prepare ourselves for life's inevitable changes and losses, building resilience against future storms. Second, and more importantly for overcoming the comparison trap, we regain proper perspective on the blessings we currently enjoy. Marcus Aurelius made this a daily mental exercise, reminding himself in his private writings, "Think of all you have rather than what you lack." When we consciously cultivate this mindset through regular practice, others' achievements gradually lose their power to make us feel deficient. We begin to see our own lives with fresh eyes, recognizing abundance where we previously saw only lack. Our struggles and perceived disadvantages often contain hidden gifts that only reveal themselves with time and reflection. The obstacles you've overcome, the unique challenges you've faced, these have quietly forged strengths and insights that others may lack. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled Rome during years of plague and constant warfare, wrote in his private journal what would become one of Stoicism's most famous maxims: The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your particular path, with all its unexpected difficulties and detours, is actively shaping a version of you that couldn't exist any other way. Those late nights you spent working while others partied, the failures that taught you resilience, even the periods of loneliness that forced you to develop inner resources. These aren't deviations from your true path, they are essential parts of its terrain. This perspective becomes particularly powerful when we examine the illusion of comparison through a Stoic lens. That wildly successful entrepreneur you admire may lack the family closeness you cherish. The perpetually traveling influencer may secretly envy your rooted community. The colleague who received the promotion you wanted may be struggling with private health issues you know nothing about. As Epictetus observed with characteristic bluntness, if someone handed your body over to just any passerby, you'd be furious. Yet you hand over your mind to anyone who comes along and allow it to be disturbed and confused. When we truly embrace amor fati, we stop seeing others' lives as benchmarks against which to measure our own, and begin recognizing them as entirely separate stories, neither superior nor inferior to our own unfolding narrative. Practical exercises can help cultivate this transformative mindset. Begin each morning not by reaching for your phone, but by identifying one aspect of your life you typically take for granted. Perhaps your ability to see the sunrise, to walk without pain, to think clearly. Reflect deeply on how this fundamental gift enriches your daily experience. Maintain a journal where you regularly note how your specific challenges have shaped your character in positive, often unexpected ways. When you catch yourself falling into comparison, pause and list 3 unique advantages of your current situation that others might lack. These simple but powerful practices gradually train the mind to see value where it previously saw only lack or limitation. The ultimate test of amor fati comes when we can look at another's success and feel genuine happiness for them while remaining completely at peace with our own journey. This isn't about suppressing natural human emotions or pretending we don't notice differences, but about developing the wisdom to experience these reactions without being ruled by them. As Epictetus taught his students, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. This radical acceptance isn't about abandoning ambition or settling for less, but about directing our ambition wisely toward what truly matters. While others exhaust themselves chasing external validation and social approval, we pursue something far more valuable and enduring, the unshakable contentment that comes from fully embracing our unique path, while compassionately releasing the need to compare it with others. In a world obsessed with measuring up and keeping score, this Stoic approach may be the most revolutionary act of all, to look at your life with clear eyes and say, "This is mine, with all its imperfections and surprises, and I choose to love it." The third rule: define your own measure. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and visible achievements, the Stoics proposed a radical alternative. True success cannot be measured by external validation. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, would retreat each evening to examine not his imperial accomplishments, but his moral progress. In his private writings, we find this striking admission: "I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." Here lies the Stoic secret. The only measure that matters is the one you set by your own virtues. The Stoics made a crucial distinction between preferred indifference. Things like wealth, status, and comfort that society values, and true goods, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Seneca, who served as advisor to Emperor Nero, observed, "No person has ever been wise by chance. Real achievement comes from conscious cultivation of character, not accumulation of externals." This explains why so many seemingly successful people remain unfulfilled. They've been climbing the wrong ladder their entire lives. Practical application begins with self-examination. Ask yourself, what virtues do I truly admire? What kind of person do I want to become? Then create your personal criteria based on these answers. Marcus Aurelius kept a nightly journal reviewing not his political victories, but moments where he demonstrated patience, integrity, or humility. When you have trouble getting out of bed, he wrote, "Remember that your purpose is to work with others." His measure wasn't conquest but character. The modern workplace provides constant temptation to compare. A colleague receives praise while your contributions go unnoticed. A rival gets the promotion you wanted. The Stoic approach. First, acknowledge the natural sting of disappointment, then consciously redirect your focus inward. Epictetus advises, "If someone speaks ill of you, remember he doesn't know your other faults." Or he'd mention those instead. This humorous deflection reveals a deeper truth. When you define yourself by your own standards, others' opinions lose their power to disturb you. Implementing this requires daily practice. Start with a media audit. Notice which platforms or accounts trigger unhealthy comparison and limit exposure. Create a virtue checklist tailored to your values. Each evening, reflect not on what you acquired, but how you demonstrated wisdom, courage, or kindness. Practice premeditatio malorum, imagining the loss of externals to strengthen appreciation for your inner qualities. As Seneca notes, poverty adjusted to the law of nature is great wealth. The ultimate freedom comes when we realize no external comparison can touch our core worth. The Stoics called this the inner citadel, a fortress of mind built through philosophy. Marcus Aurelius described it as a quiet retreat, always available amidst life's noise. Here, in this mental stronghold, we find the only comparison that matters between who we were and who we are becoming. Not measured against others' paths, but against our own potential. This is the Stoic path to authentic confidence, not the fragile kind dependent on being better than, but the unshakable kind that comes from living in alignment with your deepest principles. In a world drowning in comparison, this ancient wisdom offers what we crave most, the courage to be uniquely, unapologetically yourself. We began this journey recognizing how comparison steals our joy. We've explored 3 Stoic rules to reclaim it, understanding what's truly ours to control, loving our unique path, and defining success by our own measures. These aren't theoretical ideas, but practical tools forged in life's fires by philosophers who faced exile, slavery, and imperial power. The path won't always be easy. Old habits of comparison will resurface. When they do, remember Epictetus' question, "Is this within my power? If not, release it. If so, act with virtue." Marcus Aurelius' reminder, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." And Seneca's challenge, "How much better to heal than to resent your wounds?" True freedom isn't found in having what others have, but in no longer needing to compare. It's the quiet confidence of knowing you're living by your own lights. As you go forward, carry this Stoic wisdom. The only life you need to measure is your own. The only approval that matters is that of your best self, and the only comparison worth making is between who you were yesterday and who you choose to be today. This is the path to what the Stoics called eudaimonia, not fleeting happiness, but lasting fulfillment. May you walk it with clarity and courage. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this video helpful. If it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who could use a positive reminder. Remember, personal growth is a journey that takes time, so don't forget to subscribe for daily updates to strengthen your mindset day by day. Also, please check out our next video and playlist for more insights. Until next time, stay strong, stay calm, and stay stoic.